was a biker, and he drove his motorcycle that fast. He drove a big chop hog with a gang cousin's jacket, and he ran down citizens for laughs. He had an old lady named Petula, packed an automatic 45 gun. They had just come up from California, where they shot 6 cops for fun.
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. And thank you.
And we are back that fast. I'll tell you that. That is fast as I have ever done it before. Anyway, getting to the story about these 2 dogs. It's bad enough that they could make, well, what they do is they go to the ice maker on the front of the refrigerator. And they love chomping on ice. So every few minutes, I hear them going to the ice maker. And getting, well, in fact, this, you can believe this or not, but the one, they haven't figured it out yet, but the one, Pluto is the name of the one dog, was sitting there with a dish while the other dog, okay, was dispensing the ice. Now, the ice is like flying through the kitchen. And then Pluto would grab the ice and put it into the bowl, and then proceeded to eat them. Now, when I saw that, I was figuring, oh, maybe they got smart enough. They're going to put the dish under the ice dispenser and fill it up with ice. With these dogs, you never know what's going to happen next. But I will tell you, these dogs are, I look at them and I thought they were dumb dogs. Because, you know, I had a part poodle, part terrier, very intelligent dog. But when it comes to food, okay, or maybe being a carpenter down the road because they love wood, they have figured out things that a lot of dogs wouldn't even think about, like how to open a cupboard, how to take a loaf of bread out of the cupboard, and how to divide it between the 2 of them out of the cupboard. Or they have got a bad habit of opening up the refrigerator. Hey, they're self-contained dogs. I mean, pretty soon I'm going to see them put things in the microwave and cook it.
That's what I was going to say. That's going to be next. They're going to be cooking their own food. So they are pretty self-efficient from the sounds of it. And they're not very picky, I don't think, on what they eat.
Well, if it's not concrete or steel, they pretty much eat it.
Yeah, if it's not tied down, even then they might eat it.
I don't know. Could you imagine a wife doing this to her husband, even if he's the lowest level person in the world? He was cheating on his wife. But his wife says, okay, I'm going to get even with you. And goes to his employment. It's a huge office. Strips off her clothes and says, he doesn't want me anymore. He wants that woman right there.
This is a woman who knows how to make a scene, I can tell you that. I'm sure she got some attention, too.
I want to bet you he probably got fired, too.
I would say he had some questions to answer and probably got a few looks and cat calls and all kinds of stuff happened there that day. That would be humiliating.
Anyway, this fat dog, a dog that was so a beast, but it looked happy. It always had a smile on its face. Well, they take him to the vet, and the vet says, okay, we're going to give this dog this medicine, and you're going to put him on this diet. Now the dog has lost all the weight and looks healthy, but looks totally miserable. No more smile, no more happiness. The thrill is gone.
Yeah, he's not happy eating the good food. Probably put him on diet food and stuff. You know, plus whatever, if they put him on some medicine, there's a lot of side effects. Just like with humans, I'm sure it works on the dogs the same way. Probably made him miserable.
I know. Be careful when you order pizza and you don't give tips. All I can tell you is that a pizza driver, delivery guy, was told what a lot of people in the industry do to people that are known not to give tips. I tell you what, you might not want to eat pizza anymore and have it delivered, so make sure you leave a tip with the guy.
Yeah, around here anyway, I always give tips anyway, but the places, they charge you $3 for a delivery on top of your pizza anyhow. And along the same lines as that, I used to tell my wife, girlfriends, whoever, well, if we was out, for the love of God, do not send something back to the kitchen. If you don't like it, we'll go somewhere else, because if you want them to bring something else out and replace with something, well, you can fill in the blanks there, Gary.
I'm going to make some people, I know, depending on where you're at, your stomach's going to get turned. Many years ago, when I first married my wife, I had two friends, really close friends. One was owned a Chinese restaurant, and he saved my life. I almost married his daughter, but that's another story. The other one was these two Greek brothers I met. They were multi-millionaires. They came from Greece because their mother was up in age. She was close to dying, and she wanted to live in America. So they came here, and as a hobby. Now, they still own the quarry in Greece. They were, like I said, multi-millionaires. They didn't really care if anybody came into their restaurant, but they had a huge Greek restaurant. And, I would go there, and the food, I like baklava. And they made the best baklava ever. But hardly anybody in there. And they didn't care. They just didn't care because, you know what? It was a hobby to them. Anyway, I had this one guy was the biggest cheapskate in the world.
Oh, Lord.
This guy was so bad, I didn't realize it. And he came from a wealthy family. We went to, Seattle's most expensive restaurant. The most expensive restaurant. Now, this is going back, 45 years ago, 46 years ago, a long time ago. And he orders the most expensive meal, and he says, order anything you want. Drink whatever you want. I don't care. So I ordered, and I didn't have much money. I was lucky if I had $10 in my wallet. I think I ordered something that came to $100. That was a lot back 45 years ago.
Oh, my God.
Okay. And he ate whatever he did. He only ate half of it. And then when the waiter came by, he said, do you have something for an upset stomach? And I kind of figured, okay. I didn't think really much of it. Then a few minutes later, he's holding his hands around his stomach. Now, everybody in this restaurant are all upper, crust. The cream of the crop of Seattle. And he's now bending over and up and down saying how bad his stomach hurts. So the waiter comes with a manager and they said, what can we do? And he goes, I think I got food poisoning.
Uh-oh.
And they go, shh. Here, you just go, we're not going to charge you. Okay? And if you have any medical, if you have to go, whatever, refer them to me. And I'm going, wow. Then we get into the car. Okay? And all of a sudden his stomach pain went away.
Miraculously.
Okay? So about a month goes by, and his name was James, by the way. But not to be with you. But he goes, let's go to a restaurant. I go, where at? He goes, well, we can't go to the one we went last time. And I said, well, do you have money? So he opens his wallet and he had $300-400 in it. So I figured, okay, this guy's going to pay for it. And we had two good-looking girls and all that. And guess what? Halfway in the routine, he eats only half of his food, and he orders a huge amount of food, okay? Enough for, because the guy, I'll be honest with you, I'm chubby. But back then, I wasn't. This guy probably weighed about 300 pounds then. And so his stomach starts hurting, and he did the same routine. Okay? And then naturally they say, well, hey, please don't sue us and don't make a scene and all that stuff. And, they escorted us out. And and said, if there's any problems, call us, and he gets in there and, he starts laughing. Naturally, me and the girls are looking at him like, wow, this guy is like the world's biggest cheapskate in the world. So he comes over to my place, and I was planning to go see my two friends at the Greek restaurant. I was going to go in there and have bacala and whatever. And because I'd hang out and we'd play cards and stuff together quite often. And he orders the most expensive steak. Right? And and these guys are friends of mine. And then, he eats 3/4 of the meal and all this stuff, drinks a whole bunch of expensive wine. Oh, my stomach's starting to hurt. You got anything for an upset stomach? Now I know what he's trying to pull. Big time, right?
Yeah.
And so they bring him something, and he, my stomach's getting worse. Maybe something's bad. So I walk into the kitchen and talk to the two brothers. And then they came out with an idea. They go up to James and they said, oh, I tell you what. Maybe the meat, you just didn't like the flavor. Do you want another? I want a porterhouse steak. No problem, sir. So they go back in the kitchen. They pull out this beautiful porterhouse steak. The one brother throws it on the floor. The other brother unzips his pants and urinates on it.
Oh, my God.
And then they cook it. I am like gagging and trying also at the same time when I go back to the table, because I know exactly what they did. I'm trying not to laugh when he's eating it or throw up, one of the two.
Wow.
And he's eating it. And he comes back and they say, well, how's it? He goes, wow, this is the best steak I've ever had in my life. And he actually paid for the meal. And afterwards, I wanted to get rid of him because we came in separate cars. I said, well, hey, James, I'll see you next week and we'll go, cruising meet some women or something. And, after he left, we had I never fell on the floor laughing in my life. I did. I couldn't believe he deserved it. I mean, if he did that 3 times, right, that I know of, think how many times also that he's gone into various restaurants and pulled the same thing.
Oh, yeah. He probably had to go to different towns. He probably went through all the restaurants. But
well, Seattle's a big town.
Oh, okay, Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, a couple million people. I mean, there's a lot of restaurants. Upper ones, not so many. But, but I'm sure if he did it there, he did it to probably Denny's too, knowing him. But could you imagine? He actually, and I waited, I think about 6 months. And then my friends, they went back to Greece because their mother passed on. Okay, so they went back home. I mean, the whole point is they came here, for she could see America and basically die in America because she always wanted to be in America. I told my friend, I said, James, and I lost him right then and there as a friend. I said, James, you know what happened when you went with me that one time and we went over to West Seattle to my friend's restaurant? Yeah, it was the best steak I ever had. I said, James, do you know what they did to your steak? They gave you the special steak. They gave you that special seasoning,
sauce.
That marinated sauce. Your steak was marinated like you wouldn't believe. He goes, what do you mean? I said, they urinated on it and then they put it on and cooked it for you.
The same recipe they make belts in China with. same recipe.
Yeah, or any leather goods, yeah. But could you imagine? That's why you know what? I've had, through the years, the worst tasting food you could ever have sometimes in restaurants. But you know what saves me from complaining to the waitress? Like, hey, my steak isn't cooked quite well enough, or, hey, my steak is overdone. I am scared because, who knows what those people